Hi, I'm Joshua Farley,
And I'm Marcus Soto.
and this is Inside Our Industry, where we share weekly insights on everything to do with the electric and solar industry, contracting, and best practices. Hey, let's talk a little bit about solar self-installation.
Oof, not recommended.
I need to get some pictures.
Don't do it. Don't do
Hey,
it.
I'm a proponent.
No. Don't do
Listen,
it.
I
And
do
I
a lot
say
of
this because there's people that install solar every day that still don't know what the hell they're doing.
That's true. That's true. Doctor. Listen, I do a lot of shit at my house myself. Like, I'm fucking perfectly capable of doing things.
Yep.
And in Arizona, you don't necessarily need to have a permit for most of the stuff you do as a homeowner or engineering, or you don't have to hire anybody, right? So like
Right.
you can do the things yourself. You can pull a permit yourself and do whatever you want.
Yep.
Actually, in Arizona, you are allowed to do all of the work yourself, I think. I'm pretty sure that's the fact. Like, you can pull a permit for anything for your own home, but you're not allowed to work on somebody else's home unless you're licensed.
Right. And I like do it yourself, right? I like DIY as well, as much as
Tile,
anybody
like,
else.
Tile.
But when I think about DIY, like, I wouldn't do something that if I did it wrong, my house could catch on fire.
You wouldn't?
No.
We moved into a house and the guy DIY'd everything, and it was a fucking nightmare. And I wish there was a little bit there, but to protect me. But
So for me, obviously I know electrical, I know solar, right? For me, that's plumbing. I'm not DIYing plumbing because I don't want my house to flood.
plumbing's easy now. They got those shark bites. You just go.
Yeah, I'm gonna call you.
Although most of the stuff you deal with when I deal with plumbing is like P traps and drains. It's like just taking the wall or getting it to the faucet. Like it's inside the walls and under the ground. Like that's the stuff that really scares you.
Yeah, that I'm not gonna do.
So I'm gonna do a remodel in my bedroom. You know, I'm gonna do some work, and I need some tile work. Marcus like, I'd do tile. I go, yeah, are you good at it? He goes, definitely not. Definitely not. So listen, you're allowed to do whatever the fuck you want with your home. Like that's allowed. But when you go to sell that home, you may get hit by the home inspector saying all this shit's fucked up.
Yep.
But I need to start taking pictures of all the shit solar I see where people are just. I've seen ones where it's just the modules flat to the roof and like they made their own clamps over the top of it,
Strapped.
and then the wires pinched underneath and going along.
There's some bad installations out there. Bad.
So there are some bad. So with that being said, we're going to look at some crap installations and see what we can find. Courtesy of Facebook, one of the groups I'm part of. Shout out to Crap Solar. If you want to see some crap. I don't necessarily know if this is crap. Initially, just looking at it, I thought it might be, but it looks like they just didn't finish for the day.
It's not very smart.
No.
Just
no.
left it up there.
But they have it tied, they have it strapped like the fucking ratchet straps.
Yeah.
But like this ratchet strap isn't holding anything. Like the minute those modules slide together, it's loose. Like, look at this. Like
There's no
somebody.
way. These mids, the things that hold these panels in place, are designed specifically for wind loads, so that those modules don't go flying off of the roof. If a good gust of wind comes through here, these modules are coming down.
Oh yeah.
Don't do this.
So, but like they strapped it down. We'll come back tomorrow. We'll finish it up tomorrow. You know, the customer didn't want us to let us use his garage, and I was working out of it was Chuck, and he's working out of his little
Oh my goodness.
Honda
Yeah, it was
Honda
Chuck.
250cc, whatever he's working out of, right?
Yeah. I wonder how scratched this is right here too. Right there where that ratchet strap
Or any of it, yeah. Like, don't let your solar installers just tie your shit down to the roof until tomorrow. Make that shit come down.
For me, guys, finish this job. Finish that. I don't care if it's 4 o'clock. Like, throw those 4 modules on really quick and let's call it a day.
I mean, there's still sunlight. Or is this like the next day? Like they were working all night, and then the next day somebody snapped this picture.
Yeah, the homeowner definitely snapped, or the neighbor.
Where they're not back yet. They're still not back yet. What happened? Like,
yeah.
where are they at? Like, it's not going to take very long.
No.
Like, the hard part's done. The hard part's done. Unless it was one guy. And in that case, he was taking them up a ladder incorrectly.
Right. If you weren't ready,
Never happened before.
if you weren't ready to land modules, don't put the modules on the roof.
I agree. But they didn't fit in my scooter.
It's hard to see out.
It is hard to see.
I see it now.
This must be a do-it-yourselfer, no?
It'll produce in the winter, as long as that's south.
It could
Oh
face
man, if
north.
that's any other direction than
Probably
south,
facing
that was a huge waste of anything.
Well, I mean, south probably this one, maybe south is where we're taking the picture from. So that's like
That's
an east.
That's morning.
East. East only, yeah. You're going to get it after it crosses up over this hedge. And then until about noon. Hey, you
Yeah.
know, maybe
Hey,
you think that was done by a contractor? Or would they have put it up here? Or up on the ledge? I don't know. Love it.
love it.
Let's go to the next one.
Love it.
Holy mother of God. When you're certified and you're trained and you're educated in the field that you do work, that's when you know what is actually needed to do a proper installation. When you're not and you're a homeowner and you're doing things yourself, that's when you might take things a little too far. That's a big build. That's a
Yeah.
big build up for.
Yeah,
I mean,
for this.
he put a fucking elf. Oh, he put alpha on every single one of those.
And it looks like they're just drilled in. It looks
I
like
mean, it's definitely not using the proper attachment, right? There's an S5 attachment that can go around the
Yeah.
side that kind of pinches it, but yeah, they're not using the right attachment. Those are L-foot, and they are drilled. They have drilled an L-foot into every single one of those seams.
typically 4 foot or 6 foot, based on
The
some different
manufacturer's-
calculations.
The manufacturer specification and when, depending on where you're at. And then there's space, right? So he could have probably put a whole nother row on if he
there is
put them together.
space.
So like each one, and almost didn't look like they didn't put them that many on that row or that row, but they definitely have them up again on that side. So
So they put this one up first, and someone was like, "Dude, what are you doing?"
you don't need that many fucking.
What are you
You don't need
doing?
that many brackets,
And it's
bro.
like, we can't take them out now. There's holes.
It's probably a commercial building too, so maybe it's not. Maybe it's not a homeowner. Whatever. Next. So I had a client. I had a client call me and say, "Hey, Josh, I'm thinking about building a cabin off grid, and I want to put solar on, but it's all there's just trees around. Now I don't need to have direct sunlight on those panels, right? Because they just work during the day." And I go, well, I mean, they'll pick up some ambient light, but like
Right.
you want as much direct sunlight on those things as possible. You want the correct azimuth, like you want as much as you can possibly get, especially in an off-grid scenario. But he was like, oh, it can be north face and in the shade, right? It'll still work. I wonder if this is his house.
This was the customer going, I think I might want them on the front of the house so all my neighbors can see my cool solar system.
Right.
Like it's obviously wintertime. This tree's lost its like.
So it's this guy.
Yeah, so it's definitely this guy. So if
Yep.
the sun's over there, it may be that thing. If that's south, if the sun's in the south, then that's shining all the time. If the sun's in the north, that's shaded. I mean, shaded all the time.
All the time,
It's shaded
yeah.
all the time. If the sun's coming this way to this way, in the wintertime, it gets sun through this through the branches.
Just a little bit.
But when those leaves grow back, oh man, what did this? Who sold that job?
Come on, you can't do that, guys.
Hey,
you can't do that.
I'd like to suggest you put your solar in the back. Well, I want it in the front. Okay, customer's always right.
Until they're wrong.
Saw this post come up the other day, and people were in the comments were rewarding or praising the ingenuity, right? Like there were comments like, "Oh man, that's pretty smart," and this and that, and like that's what's wrong with the industry is these solar guys aren't electricians and they don't understand what might work and or why it needs to be certain things need to be in place, right? Like this is ingenuity at its finest. One of the comments said that some people, the guy was like, yeah, we do this occasionally if we run out of mids and then we come and we hit it on the way back the next day or whatever. But how many times have you seen somebody where they intend to go back and they just never do?
It happens all the time.
Shit gets busy,
It's
like-
not going to happen.
I mean,
The things are designed the way that they're designed to do their job. Don't
Right.
put stuff together on the roof randomly like this.
fucking
It's-
stop taking shortcuts. Go get
Yeah.
your end clamps. Like this is a fucking mid. Like come on. Like you got a mid holding this mid up to make it an end,
Uh-huh.
just so we can make that clamp. Because without it, it's not gonna clamp down. And if that's not tight, or if anything other part of the system isn't tight, that's gonna end up being loose, and then it's gonna fall out.
This is going to
And now,
slide out.
If this is close to an eave, this becomes now a fall hazard. Yeah. Or it's a drop hazard, right?
It's okay. Those electrical wires might catch it.
And your rail's too long. Like, you need what? Why you need all that sticking out the side? Like, what was this, 1984? Like, come on, let's get those fucking end clamps.
Yeah.
Make
It look nice.
Let's use some good product here.
Right.
Looking from, I can't see the side either, but it definitely looks square like a snapping rack.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying it's bad product. I'm just saying it's definitely bad installation.
Yeah.
So this is all right. So here we got one. I believe is homeowner installed.
Yeah.
So this is somebody doing it themselves, right? So they're using the product that they don't understand what the pieces are for and why they make the pieces for certain things, or how to install this system. One, they got the system, it's all jacked up. It looks like the rail's outside of the manufacturer's specified area of a rail. Should be probably inside here. There's just different gaps in. This is a lack of experience, so that's why I'm guessing it's a homeowner. Those are broken.
That's a shattered.
Those shattered because he's using the wrong things, and it probably didn't shatter when he first put it on.
So that product goes the other direction. This turns, and these little parts actually hold the module in. So he just used the product the wrong way. They
did it
had
everywhere.
to have shattered when he did it.
But why? But I'm guessing it didn't because
He kept doing it.
he kept doing it. Like, it's every fucking one of them.
Yeah.
Every single one of them is shattered almost.
Stop that.
You would have stopped after the first shatter and figured out, oh, this isn't the right thing. So I'm guessing he put it all in, barely, and then over time, winds came and whatever. Maybe he did. Maybe he just said, maybe he Googled it and said, because solar panels will still work if the glass is shattered. Mm-hmm. It's still going to produce.
Yep.
It's not going to be great, and it's not going to, that glass
You get water in it.
That glass isn't protecting your solar anymore, but maybe he thought it was supposed to happen.
You can get water in it?
If the
Fire.
glass, if
yeah.
the glass,
Yeah,
there,
yeah.
yeah.
Water in there, yeah.
Yeah.
But no, you're not supposed to have water in it.
Fired. Or call us.
Chuck, what are you doing, Chuck?
Chuck.
All right, see you later. Fuck Chuck.